Hi, I'm Bob Batcher, the Executive Director of Primeplus Senior Centers, and this is Primetime with Bob. And I'm with a really good friend who I kind of developed a relationship in front of the camera with him. George Pratt, Dr. George Pratt. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
You know, although when I was in front of the camera with you, a couple of consistencies. First of all, I walked into the studio, sat in a chair, and boom, it all worked. I was supposed to have a graphic. Chantel wanted me to do a graphic, but I don't know how to do it. And then I think it's good that you're rubbing your eye, because the other thing is normally you had raccoon eyes. You're coming off the boat. You were the director of Community Services Board and had time for a boat. Now you're retired and you don't have time for a boat. What happened?
Well, I got a little older and ended up selling the sailboat. Got into a little powerboat and just ended up. I have several really good friends that I have fairly large sailboats, and they need people to sail with them. So I go with them, and I don't have to have the cost and upkeep and everything of a sailboat.
Plus, you've joined the board of Primeplus, and you're available by phone at 8 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock at night. You're staying pretty busy.
Well, I am. I am retired from the Community Services Board. Oh my gosh, probably, well, it was 2008. And I've always had this idea, even when I was in the clinical field, and working with people who had difficulties. And my idea was never run away from something, run towards something. Always have a plan of some kind that you want to do. So when I started thinking about retiring from the Community Services Board, I made contacts back with Old Dominion University, where I had been a tenured professor and walked away from that. They invited me to come back and teach part-time. Actually, they wanted me to come back full-time, and I said, no, I'll teach one class. I ended up teaching two. And I did that for 10 years, and then said, I really want to retire and do some other kinds of things. And as I was doing that, you contacted me. I had no intentions of being as involved as I have become, but you always need something else. Human beings are inquisitive creatures. We like to explore things and do things, and so whenever we make a transition from one thing, we need to know what that transition is into something else. You know, I've known people who say, I want to retire and play golf. You cannot play golf every single day. There are going to be days you can't get out there. And what are you going to do? And so I have all my life enjoyed gardening, and indoor plants have given you stuff. So, you know, one of the things that I do a lot now is gardening and giving plants to friends of mine.
We talk a lot at Primeplus about pursuing your passion and having a purpose. So you found your passion and purpose by being on the board and really being very helpful in setting programming. Now, we'll talk a little bit about your wife. She's become quite a Primepluser. And when we were open, almost 5 days a week?
Absolutely. She was over there. I kept trying to show her the classes and all that. You know, there are lots of people over there that are seniors. They're not just for people that are worn out seniors. People over there that are finding friends and family and that sort of thing. And so I got her to go over there for one class. And within a week, she was 2 or 3 classes a day, at least 4 days a week, and just loved it. And she has really missed that group over there. You know, and funny, I asked her one time. I said, she said, I really love the people there. And I said, name me 4. And she said, I don't know exactly all their names, but I know what they wear. I know what they do. I love to be in a class with them. You know, and that's the kind of human contact that we are missing right now with this coronavirus.
Let's talk about that, George, because we were saying before taping, you know, this is kind of fun. I've gone from an office. I'm in my sunroom. The lighting is good. I'm watching the birds. My dog is asleep over here on the sofa and probably won't wake up. It's kind of a comfort zone, but yeah, we talk a lot about the vulnerability of loneliness, and you were helpful in really talking about the cost. When am I going to get lonely?
When are you going to get lonely?
Yeah.
I think you already are. And that's the reason that you are reaching out to so many people and finding you in different ways of communicating with them. What we have to do, we are familiar creatures. Human beings have evolved and grown up with and around other people. That's one of the things that makes us really unique. In this new environment, not the coronavirus environment, but the new technology environment, there are so many different ways that we can communicate. And there's just a tremendous amount of research now about how young people are seeing friends and that sort of thing online and communicating online. Now, because of the sequestering that we have, isolating people, it becomes even more important for people that have not been involved with technology to learn how to use the computer and their cell phone and that sort of thing to reach out with other people. Loneliness, isolation and loneliness can be an incredibly debilitating and harmful situation for people. And we now have technology ways for people to reach out, and they don't have to be so isolated. But I would suggest that what you have done is your need to contact people. That's exactly what you're doing with this new video activities that you're putting together.
Yeah, so it's important to be aware that you can be vulnerable to loneliness. There are things you can do to mask it, but really that human connection is very important. That's what I just heard from you then.
That's right. One of the things that we now that we have a lot of information on, just heard or read some information. The number of crisis calls to the Community Services Board and to the Up Center and to other hotlines, the number of the rate, the number of calls related to substance abuse and alcohol has gone up something like 47%. The number of people calling with depression and anxiety has almost tripled. People are calling because they're becoming aware. One of the things I like for people to understand is this is normal. I mean, it is not normal for people to be this isolated. Now, there are some of us, myself, who is a real introvert. I love libraries. I love my books. I love being at home. I love my gardens and that sort of thing. I also like groups of professionals where we can talk and do things in the board and that sort of thing as well. But it's really important for people to understand that to feel anxious about the unknown, to feel some depression because I'm isolated and I don't have anybody to talk to, that's normal. That's understandable. So let's be aware that that's understandable. That's a human interaction. I mean, our brains are designed that way. So what we have to do is reach out and do something about that. Don't run away from it by hiding it. Run towards something about how we can go about dealing with people, finding new ways to make contact.
Call that friend you haven't heard from in a long time.
Absolutely. Right.
Hey, is Suzanne around?
Yeah, hang on, I'll get her.
Yeah, I want to tell her something.
Okay, hold on.
Suzanne, we were talking about you.
Hey, Bob!
How you doing? Hey, I want to tell you something. We are going to open back up when COVID is all over with and we're ready to rock and roll. and you can start your classes all over again, but you don't have to wait till then to get George doing something, because we got to get him exercising too.
Absolutely.
So, we are starting Prime Plus Virtual. So we're going to be on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We're going to be doing 3 classes a day on Zoom. So look for our emails, look for our Facebook postings, and you can start moving again.
Oh my gosh, that is the best news. I really miss exercising at Prime Plus, and I have turned into kind of a couch potato. So this is always wonderful news.
In reality, I know what's really important with exercising at Prime Plus is the community. So we'll sign on a little early, so there could be kibitzing in between the members, and then we'll sign off a little late. And then in between, you can do some exercise.
You know, I have made friends at Prime Plus. Sometimes I don't even know their names, but we talk and we have some things in common, and then we just exercise and sweat together. It's a lot of fun. I really miss it. So even though we can't be in the same room, at least we can still kind of socialize.
Now you can on Tuesday and Wednesday, so check us out on Prime Plus Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. All you gotta do is go to YouTube, and it's Prime Plus Senior Centers. Thanks,
I'll do it.
Hey,
bye.
think about it for me too. Thanks a lot. George, thank you.
Okay, it's been my pleasure.
And make sure you exercise with Suzanne.
Right.
Thanks a lot, George, and we'll stay in touch.
Okay, bye-bye.
It's good to be with friends. Remember, stay safe and stay connected. Thanks a lot.